hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week of Keene State Valorant. We're back once again. It is still the playoffs as we speak, and today the roster is going up against Iona University. This is a school that they did face earlier back in November. I believe the 11th is the exact date. It is a team that they did come out 2-0 on, but again, this team has had time to prepare. So as we go into it, anything is still possible. And with that, it appears that both teams are almost about ready, and we'll be right back once we get into picks. Welcome back, everybody. Once again, both teams are now ready to get started here. And the first map that was picked is one that we have not seen at all this year, both this season and last. And it is going to be Fracture.
Fracture is a very interesting map because the defending team spawns in the middle while the attacking team spawns on the outside, and they can go to either side of the map. It's definitely a unique map.
Yeah, a little hard to explain by words, but as the match goes on, for anybody who might not know, you will quickly learn what makes it so unique. And on that same kind of note, what makes it not the most popular map amongst a lot of players. I personally really enjoy Fracture because I like playing Breach on it, but that's just me. However, as we do get into picks here, we are going to see a unique pick come out here from Keene State. We are going to see Yeri off of his classic picks such as Gecko and Sova, and we're going to see him on the Tejo this time, which is not something that we have seen Keene run this year, obviously, because he just came out about a month ago. But
I do think we saw him run Teo once. I think there was a game.
I believe I must have. I think I was missing for that.
Oh,
one.
you might have. Yeah, you might have.
Yeah. So, apparently, it had. Now I'm corrected. It has been run. But
only
it's still,
the once,
it's still not something that Keene runs incredibly often. But I imagined that it's probably a practice pick that they do have under their belt, and I can't wait to see what Gary's able to pull out with it. All right, here we are. Take a second for all of the textures to load in there, but as we approach him, we are going to see that Keene State will be attacking first. It is going to be a kind of a new playbook that they're going to pull out here because of how this map works and how many different angles that they can come at to each point here. We are also going to see a Viper. Not a pick that we've seen very often within Playfly.
Yeah, no.
At least in the divisions that Keene State is playing at. Viper is not a very common pick. Most teams usually opt for that Omen because of his more offensive utility that he has available to him. We are going to see that Keene State are going to push over to A site. They're coming from both angles here, trying to find whatever they can. We're going to see Froggy throw up a camera here, try to find some individuals. Chumley is going to push off some information that Froggy found, and that is going to be 2 picks for 1 in favor of Keene State, and Keene State will find more and more here as they leave it to 3 versus 1 here, and that will be that last pick necessary to secure that first round for Keene State.
Very well done.
A perfectly executed by Keene State to take that first round. Keene State will be eco-buying here in order to be able to try to secure the second round, and you know how that whole song and dance usually occurs.
This is what I was talking about earlier, where this map has a zip line through the middle where the attacking team can choose which side to attack from. For anyone that was curious. As we can see, Keene State are going for an attack from both sides onto B point.
We're going to see that Keene State are going to be able to use their utility in such a way that will push Iona away from this B point, as they will get the spike down, and Yeri will find a pick for very little there.
Yeri does get picked off.
That deadlock wall is becoming a obstacle for Iona there, as they will have to clear that before they can try to execute onto the site. We are going to see that Keene State will lose some of their plays here, bring it down to a 3 versus 2 in favor of Keene State, as Mish will find 2. Chumley will find a little bit of damage. Mish will attempt the swing and will get traded, as that will be another pick from Froggy to secure that second round. We are seeing now that Iona is going to be able to do a full purchase here, which will give them an advantage on that firepower. However, if Keene State are able to find picks here, it will leave Iona with very little to be able to purchase for themselves. We're going to see that Keene State are going to try to execute on to this A site once again. We are going to see that Chumley will get an early pick onto that jet there, taking away that duelist from Iona. We are going to see that Iona have decided to back off of this A point here, as Keene State will be able to secure site. Both teams trying to just find what they can here, as that plant will get off for Keene State. We are going to see that Yeri will be picked by that Raze, as that will be another pick for Iona there, as it will be brought to a 3 versus 3 here. Mish found with a classic is going to be picked by that by Iona's duelist once again. However, Shotgun User will find one living up to his name and will get a little bit of damage off. Froggy here in a precarious situation will find one. However,
so close.
Will be picked there. Getting 4 kills on a round like this, though, is going to be very good here for Keene State, as that will put Iona in a difficult position to buy here. They will be struggling on economy, as Keene State will have a lot to fall back on. Yeah, it will appear that Iona will be attempting to force once again here, try to stop the momentum that Keene State might be building for themselves here. Keene State is going to try to execute onto this A side again, taking a bit more of a stealthy approach here. And they will start to use a lot of their utility here to try to find what they can. Tremblay will find that deadlock through that stun, as that will be Mish planting on site right now. Keene State does have the clock in their favor now, as both teams will throw their paint shells at each other. Keene State does have all their plays here to Iona's 4. They do have that one-man advantage, and that can turn the tides here, as both teams will have a lot of utility to their names. And just perfectly executed from all angles, as Keene State will take that 4th round for themselves. It does appear that Keene State will be trying to use this breach ult to try to secure site here. It will come out. It will force a lot of Iona's players to back off of site here and let Keene State grab a lot of control, as those smokes from Mish will cut off their sight lines in order to try to stop them. Yeri will find one, and that will bring it down to a 4 versus 5 here in favor of Keene State. Chumley will find another, and that will be trades after trades as teams will exchange, and that will be Keene State coming off on top with 3 of their players left to Iona 0, bringing them the 5th round.
Very nicely done from Keene State there.
We are going to see that Keene State... Oh, wait, that's not Keene State. we are going to see that Iona will decide to use their jet knives here. Keene State will get an advantage here by finding an early pick on to that duelist from Iona. We're gonna see Mish pick the Iona Viper here, as it will be brought down to a 3 versus 5 here. Mish getting that plant down, bringing the clock in favor of Keene here. Time is the matter here for Iona. We're going to see that Keene State will get 2 more players there, as Iona will find 1. It is going to be still 4 versus 1 here. Very difficult for this Jet to try to figure out what they want to do here. They are going to miss some of the knives onto Mish. However, that will be Mish finding that pick, and that will be that 6th round in favor of Keene State. Keene State does have 4 ults here ready, and so will Iona this round, especially if they are able to find an ult orb or a pick with that Viper. So we might see a lot of ults come out here, as both teams are going to be trying to A, build up that lead, or B, try to stop that momentum that Keene State is building for themselves.
Almost an early pick going out there. It's not quite. Mish does get that pick.
Ooh, trades will occur here, as it will be Yeri by himself here in a 3 versus 1, now a 2 versus 1. Oh, however, that will be that Jet finding the head of Yeri there, bringing Iona their second round here, bring the score 2-5 in favor of Keene State. Yeah, unfortunately, some early picks there on to Keene State from Iona really sealed the deal for that round, especially that pick that onto Mish by that breach who was on site. So now we are going to see that Keene State is going to attempt to execute onto their bread and butter here, which will be this A site. It is going to be left a little weaker from Iona, as they did have 3 of their players onto B site who will be attempting to rotate over here. We are going to see that Viper ult come out on to A site here, which will force Keene State to move over to B site. None of Iona's players will be following along in this, as that will be Chumley finding one on A site too to take with him, as he is going to go over to B, where Keene State is currently planting. We are going to see that Deadlock ult come out, and it will find Yeri there.
Fuels.
However, he will be freed and will not find that value out of it that they wanted.
Mateo goes out.
It does find a lot of space here for Keene State.
Fortunately, Yeri is taken out.
However, Chumley will find 2 who are looking the other way. Oh, however, that will be Dinosaur Nuggets finding them, as it will be a countdown on the clock here. Froggy will play the clock and will find that pick, bringing that 8th round in favor of Keene State. Now, Iona did invest a lot of ults that round, and that will cost them in the long run here, as they will not have those available for the remainder of this half. Unless some heroics are pulled out. We are going to see the Odin come out by Shotgun User once again.
Oh yeah, the classic.
A class favorite. And he will find that Viper early there. As Bish will get that plant down.
Froggy did find the Jet.
Is 2 versus 5 here in favor of Keene State. Will be difficult for Iona to push onto the site. They might opt just to save here. However, Froggy will find that Deadlock, as it will just be this breach alone here, but he will be found on the way out by Yeri, bringing that 9th round for Keene State. Something about seeing that little robot jump over the Molly is entertaining. BSB will find that Viper there. Bring it down to a 5 versus 4 here. It will appear that Iona will have this A site just left here for Keene State to execute on and set up, as that will be Mish planting onto site once again on that default spot.
Heavy did find one. Gary finds another. All that's left is this deadlock. Froggy is holding where that deadlock is coming from.
And Froggy will find that deadlock too, as that will be that 10th round for Keene State. Keene State has built themselves quite a sizable lead here in this first half. We see that Keene State will opt to try to play on this B site once again here, as Iona still does not have any of its players over here, but they will rotate quickly over. And we are going to see that ult come out from Keene State, two of them actually. We are going to see both the Raze and the Breach ult coming out from Shotgun User and Chumley. Chumley will find two with that Raze ult, bring it down to a 3 versus 5 here. Smokes coming out and plants going down. Everybody's using everything here, as that will be Chumley finding 4 there. 1 left here for another ace. Will it be the second one of this season?
We know where that jet is.
And
we
that
get
will
the ace!
be another ace here for Chumley. The second one of the season, and more to come.
Very nicely done from Chumley there.
We are going to see that Keene State are going to once again execute on to this A site here. Both teams losing one of their players here.
Some cool movement there. Well, Keene State kills 2.
Bring it down to 2 versus 4 here.
Mish uses that Omen ult to get a vantage point.
As Mish will find that deadlock there, and it will be just one of their players left as Mish will find that last one, bringing us to the end of the first half here, which with a score of 10-2. Keene State here only has to win 3 rounds to take home the first map of the night, and Iona will have to win another 10 here to bring it over to bring it to overtime, and 11 to win. However, I've always found that attacking on this map is the much more advantageous position to play from. So we will see what will happen the rest of this half.
Froggy has spotted where Iona is sending some of their players through.
Yeah, we'll be revealing that they will be trying to execute on to this B site here. We're going to see a very kind of mixed approach here from Iona, as Yeri will find the back of that Viper there, taking away that controller from Iona.
Heavy does find one. flash comes out. Misha gets the pick. All that's left is the deadlock.
As they will be able to find her, and that will be that first round in favor of Keene State, bringing the score 2-11.
A lot of utility went out to test Iona from going to A point there.
Both teams here trying to find whatever they can. We're going to see Mish will find one, as Heavy will find another, bringing it 3-5 here in favor of Keene State, as Iona will attempt to take B site here.
Fortunately, Froggy is taken out. Chumley does find two. And Mish finds that last one.
That will be that 14th round in favor of Keene State, bringing it 2 match point for this first map. Keene State will have to win one more to take home this map. Iona will have to win 10 to bring it to overtime.
Not impossible, but definitely a very difficult task to accomplish.
Yeah, it is a very tall ask, but it has been done, and bigger comebacks have occurred. You just ask the Seahawks. That will be Chumley finding one there with that boombot, as it will be brought down to a 4 versus 5 here.
Oh, Chumley has found one on the zipline.
Chumley will find one going across the zipline there, practically with their pants down. As that will be Yeri finding another there, bringing it 3 versus 2 here, as Chumley will be found. Shotgun user will find the last two there to bring that first map home for Keene State.
Well done score
for Keene
State right there.
Here. Wouldn't even have enough time for timeouts here.
Yeah,
so
no.
we would just before we head back and for our next map here, we would thank some of our sponsors. The first one being for the Owl Media Network, the New Hampshire Army National Guard. Please visit www.nationalguard.com/nh or call 1-800-GO-GUARD for more information. We would also like to thank at this time the New Car Nissan of Keene, your premier new Nissan and used car dealership near Keene. Discover the new car difference. And with this last scorecard, we would like
to be right back.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here once again on Haven, a map that is well played and well practiced here for Keene State. We at this point don't even have to introduce what the lineup is here for Keene.
Yep, the classic.
Yeah, the composition everyone loves and everyone's here for.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know, I'm not sure people are here for the composition, but at the very least, it's a it's a it's a comfort food of picks here.
I do see that Iona is hovering over that ISO. I'm not sure if we're gonna see it.
That would be another new pick here for this Playfly season. We are going to see the Clove. It is a pick we have seen before, but it's not as popular. We found within these leagues. We are going to see that Dinosaur Nugget hover over that ISO still. Will the pick come out? They do have 15 seconds here to decide that. Still haven't picked yet. They're waiting to the very last second.
It looks like that ISO. Unless they're dodging.
Nope. They're using that 5 seconds, 0 seconds. But we are going to see that ISO pick locked in here for Iona here. He might have been fighting for his life in the chat for that pick there. But we will see how it will perform here, as they will be attacking first here, as Keene State will be defending.
Yep.
And it will be 0-0 once again. One map in favor of Keene State.
The Midas phone has come out once again.
Why is it named after me? why do I get the? Is that a privilege? Is that a dig? I don't even know at this point.
It's a huge privilege.
The Midas phone. Can you call Winston on it? That's my question. And as we are going to see here, it will appear that Iona is going to opt to play for a site here, at least to start. We're going to see that Iona will forget the spike.
They don't need it.
That thing that the game centers around, who needs it?
Took a few shots. Oh!
Took a few shots to get to one, and it took a few shots to get rid of the rest. And however, that will be Chumley that will get picked off by that deadlock. They're bringing it currently 2-2 here. 2 versus 2. Who will be Mish and Issa versus Iona's deadlock and Clove here. We're going to see that Iona will be rotating over to this, what appears to be C site. Oh, maybe they changed the mind, going over to B now. However, Issa will spot them there, and if they will start to put this pressure on here.
30 seconds left. One enemy.
Issa will be able to find that deadlock there, who will have that spike there, and that will force Iona to change how they're going to play here.
Only have 16 seconds to plant that spike.
10 seconds left.
And Mish will be there to pick that last one off, running the first round there for Keene State. The pressure was on that Clove there to get that plant off with such a little time left on the clock, and Mish was able to perfectly use that to be able to secure that last pick for Keene State. We're going to see
Yuri
Yuri
finds
get
one.
one. Yuri get two
finds
there.
two.
Chumley get
finds
another
two.
two, and it will be one left there for Iona. Just this deadlock with a Ghost and a Dream here. I guess they do also have the spike available to them. And that will be that last one found, as that will be the second round in favor of Keene State.
Very swift round from Keene there.
That really goes to show how much that difference in firepower can really go for either team here. We are going to see that Iona is going to move over to C site, trying to take advantage of the fact that they can buy rifles this round, and Keene State can't.
Chumley finds one. Issa finds one. Issa does get picked off.
Keene State will trade 1 for 2 there, and 2 for 3, as that will be brought down to a 3 versus 2 here for Keene State, as Yeri will find another there in exchange for one more on that site, bringing it down 1 versus 2 here, as Mish will find that last one for Team Ace in the third round. There was a riot gun buddy there.
Impressive.
Whoever that Vandal but originally belonged to had a riot gun buddy. Interesting. Oh, there it is again. See it?
Ooh.
Not something you see every day. It will appear that Iona will be trying to split up a lot of their players here to try to take a few more angles and not allow themselves to get picked off like they did in that second round.
Spike planted.
Iona will get that plant off. Both teams still have all their players here. Issa will find damage on to that raise there.
Unfortunately, Yeri does get picked off.
Shotgun user will find 2 there.
There's a chance we see another ace. Aw.
And with a fifth of a second left, Keene State will take that round.
Very close around there, but Keene State does prevail. I did see that Midas phone come out too, by the way.
I didn't even see it.
I'm
Nope.
always on the look for it.
Always on the lookout. Yeah, as we do come around here, we are going to see that Iona will be trying to force once again here, try to take what they can away from Keene State, who does have an advantage here with 4 rounds to their name. We're going to see that they will be putting a core of 3 players on to this C site here, as Niche will be found by that ISO.
That Clovolt does come out.
Oh my god, he will find 4! As he will be looking for that ace. Will there be 2 in one night? As that will be an ace for shotgun user with the Odin.
The second ace of the night from Keene State. Oh!
showing no mercy and living up to the new username.
This man might be heavy from TF2.
This might be the real heavy from Team Fortress 2.
Oh my. It's a clutch moment that Clove did ult.
Get this guy a sandwich right now.
Get this guy.
Get this guy a lunchbox item. Keene State will be riding off that high for this next round here, as Iona will attempt to push onto this A site here. However, that will be an early pick onto two of their players from Yeri here.
Yeri gets 2 picks off immediately.
Keene State will lose very little there for those 2 picks, as Iona will be forced to pick up the remains of what they have for this round. They're trying to find a way onto this B site.
It's you and me.
We are going to see that ISO come out. Issa here in a 1 versus 1 here, and will win it against the ISO. Bring it to a 4 versus 1 here, as Yeri will get picked off by that Clove.
It is a 4v1. Looking good for Keene State.
And Chumley will find that last pick, bringing that 6th round for Keene State, being score 6-0. You know, I will admit, now that I've had a second to think about it, it's kind of crazy that they tried to pull out that deadlock ult just to stop him from acing.
Yeah, that is a little crazy.
That would have not changed the outcome of that round, since it was 5 players to 1. They just did that to they just did that to him. Feels a little mean. A little mean-spirited. But Shotgun User did show them who is the boss around there.
Seems like they are backing off from a C point, moving on to a different point. He's still holding that ult.
Shotgun User will find another 2 with that ult.
Enemy remaining.
And absolutely
Spike down, C. They found
masterclass in what patience can get you, as it will be just this Clove once again here, as Yeri will find their back turned, as that will be that 7th round for Keene State.
Keene State on fire
And
with the Midas
there's
phone.
there's the phone again. I feel like as Keene State wins more rounds, it increases the chance of seeing the phone come out.
The Midas phone is a symbol of victory.
Can we get someone from the Science Center on this, please? Figure out what's going on there.
Revealing area.
As Isa will find another one of their players early there, bringing out that neural theft.
Yeri does find one. Yeri and Chumley
will
were
find
on
another
a
here.
flank.
Keene State just not giving them an inch here, as it will be brought down to a 4 versus 1 here, as Chumley will find the last one, bringing that 8th round to Keene State. Oh, I think we are seeing it come out once again here.
The
Enough comfort
operator.
room has been decided for the operator to come out for Keene State once again. We've seen what this team is capable of when they have it in their hands. Nearly, I want to say every player at Keene State has some clip, at least, with an operator at some point. Will there be another collateral here?
Dino Nuggies called out for a timeout, but Chumley does get that. Chumley finds 2 with the operator. Gets 3 with the operator.
Just one after another.
Goes for that 4th pick through the smoke.
Nearly through the smoke.
They decide to rotate out.
Just an absolutely dominant performance here. He said we'll find one more as it will be brought down to a 4 versus 1 here. Keene State will move over to the C site to try to find it, as that will be Mish finding that last player. That 9th round for Keene State. We are going to see a pause come on for
Iona.
Iona here. And since we do have some time now to
This
actually
time.
say sponsors, a lack of there's been a real lack of timeouts here from either team. But first one we'd like to thank is the American Steel Fabricators. Visit AmericanSteelFab.com for more information. We're going into negative time?
I was trying to point that out.
That's not something I've seen super often. Anyway, we'd also like to thank the Fenton Family Dealerships, the tri-state area's best selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Locally owned since 1986. We would also like to thank Fieldstone Land Consultants, a professional engineering, land surveying, and environmental services company serving New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Vermont, and Maine. We would also like to thank the Mellinson Company, commercial and residential roofing since 1932. And lastly, we'd like to thank this Sullivan Tire, located on Winchester Street in Keene. We are always here to get you there. Oh, I thought that would be just enough time there.
They said clear, but I guess they have to turn it off.
Yeah, we are going to see the negative time continue to go up.
Yeah, I have no idea what this is. The negative.
It's just going to bring it back in time, that many minutes. Okay, now we got an actual timeout going on. So we got another minute here.
I guess. Keene State has been really dominating, and I was glad we got to see that operator.
The operator purchase coming out. It's definitely a crowd favorite, at least of us two here on the up in the commentating booth.
Yeah, no, the triple kill with it was nice, although it definitely was a little jank with them trying to call timeout and not really understanding how it worked, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's still cool to see, nonetheless.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to call timeout in the middle of a round.
Yeah.
It's usually done before round starts and prep phase. Yeah, so just 10 more seconds here. Hopefully getting back in to what's going on. I think some technical difficulties might have been going on with Iona or something of that matter, as we will see the match resume once again. Iona here in a difficult position, a 9-round deficit here, and with no map to spare as well.
Yeah, no.
So they will need to start building up some rounds here to make this lead smaller here for themselves coming into the second half. Keene State are emboldened by some of their plays here, are going to be playing a lot more aggressively. You see Mish will find that ISO.
Keene State are playing a lot more aggressive.
Very much so a deviation from how they normally play a lot of these games, which is very patient and calm and collected here. But they have been failed to be punished multiple times here, so they are taking advantage of whatever they can.
The drop-in kill from Yeri there at the end. I do see that operator once again. Wouldn't mind seeing another triple kill with that.
Keene
see if
State
that's
does
able to-
only have 3 rounds here to win to secure the night. And what will be at record pace for, I believe, here for Keene.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just absolutely dominant performance here on Heaven here. Ooh, however, he will be found by that deadlock. Unable to get a shot off to even break that shield.
Yeri did find one. Mish finds another. Heavy finds one as well.
Currently a 4 versus 2 here. Deadlock watching that entrance like a hawk here. Will Mish peek it?
Oof.
Shotgun user will find one more.
Unfortunately, Mish is found. But we have multiple
They are pitting him
angles.
in that corner. They are not letting him leave as Isa will come around and get that pick.
Last round in the half.
You know, I have not seen the Odin be used for area control quite like that. Who needs your breach utility when you can, when they just can't cross them through?
Exactly. This is the last round before we swap sides.
Keene State does have a 11-round lead here. Even if they do win this last round, they will have to win 1 in the second half to take it home. Will appear here the push from Iona is quite is finding a lot of success, actually. I was going to say it looked a little disjointed, but they were able to execute quite well with one another.
They did have 5 ultimates.
Yeah, they only needed 1 to be able to get onto that point there and be able to claim it for themselves here from Keene State.
Spike planted.
I wonder if we're going to see some heroics here from Chumley or Yeri here.
Last player standing.
Yeri here in a 5 versus 1 scenario. Will he go for it? Will he go for the play? He will find 1. 4 left. He will find 2. 3 left.
That Clovolt does come out.
You know what? Getting that Clovolt out will be helpful for this next
Yeah, no.
round. Oh wait,
Switching sides.
it will not matter even.
Oh,
as-
wait, yeah.
Keene State will have only 2 rounds here to win to be able to take home this match for the night and move on in the playoffs.
I do hear those Mississippi's being counted over there.
Hey, whatever you gotta do to coordinate. You're gonna see an early pick here on to Chumley there, as they will be able to trade out with a duelist too as well.
Yeri
Yeri
finds
will find 2 as shotgun user. Wait, no. Yeri will find 1 as shotgun user finds another, bringing it to a 2 versus 4 here.
One enemy remaining.
As that will be another round for Keene State.
Keene State just needs to win 1 more round, and then they will have this game in the bag. There's that Midas phone.
I can't even hide for it when we're not even spectating it. However, my suffering might come to an end here as Keene State will have 1 round left here to win to take home the night. Iona will have to win 11 rounds in a row if they want any chance here to be able to bring it to a map 3. Keene State will also have an economy advantage to their name, but Iona will be forcing 2 here as it will be their last round to take anything home tonight.
Keene State swiftly making their approach onto A point, trying to get.
The plant will come down quite early here, and that will be the clock in favor of Keene State as that controller will be taken out of the equation here for Iona as Isa will be picked too. Chumley will find 2 there. 2 players left here for Iona. The Boombot a little confused.
Boombot got stuck a little bit on the wall there.
The entire rest of this match weighs on the shoulders of Justice Breach here. Will find Chumley,
I think.
but will not have enough time to plant as Gary will find him regardless as Keene State will take home this match and move on in the playoffs.
Very nicely done, Keene State.
Coming home with another win tonight.
Yeah, no.
And quite a dominant performance at that. Very few mistakes made by Keene State. Even less taken advantage of by Iona, as they will be moving on once again into the next round.
Yep. Since Keene State has won this match for tonight, we will be live once again next Tuesday at 8:30 for Valorant. And we will be right back in a little bit to get some interviews, hopefully. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back. Here we have Chumley here with us, and I just want to say congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
And,
Appreciate it.
How are you feeling tonight? How are you feeling after that?
I'm feeling awesome. That was a very clean game, very good communication. We played amazingly. You know, that last game was 13-1. I think it was like 13-2, 13-4 maybe, the other one. We played very well, and
Yeah,
I'm
no.
just so proud of our team.
Yeah, no, that was a great game to watch, and you guys did a fantastic job. How are you feeling after that ace? You know,
I was feeling, I was happy because it was an ace, but I was upset because it took so much longer than it needed to, because every single person on my team was making it so that I couldn't get there in time. Not on purpose. They would never do that on purpose, but, we were just having fun, laughing the whole time, enjoying ourselves, and, it was just a good time.
yeah, one final question here. How are you guys feeling now that you're getting closer and closer to that finals? Are you guys excited?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm confident we can make it all the way. We've been working on more and more maps, because I think our like weakest part is the fact that we don't have like plays for every single map. So the more weeks we play together, the more and more maps we have plays for. We know what we're doing, and when we know what we're doing, we completely crush them.
Yep. All right, well, thank you for joining us here.
Of course. Thank you.
And next week, same time, 8:30, Valorant is playing once again. And Wednesday, 8:30, Overwatch is playing. So we'd love you guys to join the stream. And that's it for tonight, and thank you for watching.